Hey guys, I'm only gonna do like a 10-minute video because my storage is pretty low. So, how about we get started, okay?
I remember I was in the 6th grade and there was this big party for this super popular girl's birthday. And everybody wanted to go to her parties because she was like the rich girl, quote unquote. And she would always have good food and great dances and mariachis and the whole 9 yards. So I really liked this boy. And the boy and I really liked each other and everybody knew. They were just asking and wondering, when are they gonna kiss? And I hadn't kissed anybody and he hadn't kissed anybody. So it was kind of implied that we were gonna kiss at this party. So I get to this party, and of course, everybody knows each other. Everybody's parents are also there because it's like a neighborhood party. I was very nervous for some reason, and I was talking to my friend. We were giggling, and the guys were making fun of the guy that I liked, and they were like, "Oh, ha ha ha," laughing in the corner and eating. And all the girls were sitting around me, and they were like, "Oh, so when are you gonna do it?" And I was like, "Oh well, we'll just see." So I go with my friend, and we're just dancing on the dance floor, and some other girl from my class pulls us aside. They're like, "Oh, Beto wants to see you." And I was like, "Oh, jeez." And that was the boy I liked. "Okay, come with me." So she brings me downstairs. Beto and his friends are just laughing and pushing each other, and his friends have cell phones out. My friends have their phones out, and they were surrounding us, and we were in a circle, in the middle of a circle. And we're just awkwardly looking at each other, but then looking away. And he's sweating, and I'm very red. And then the guys are like, "Oh, so are you gonna kiss her or what? Kiss, kiss, kiss." And then it turns into a chant. Everybody's like, "Kiss, kiss, kiss." Beto was like very, very shy. And I was like, "Well, I ain't no chicken." So I grabbed him by the shirt and I pressed my lips against his. I had never experienced this before, and it was nice. It lasted around, I don't know, 6 seconds. And everybody was doing woo, making fun of us. And then they're like, another. And he was like, "Oh, I don't know." And then I just kissed him again. And they were about to record the third kiss. And then I was like, "No, I'm out." So I run up upstairs and I just run back to my parents and I sit down at the table with them. They're like, "Oh, are you having fun with your friends?" I'm like, "Yep, I'm having lots of fun." And that was my first kiss.
So that's the first kiss.
Oh my god, we totally jumped off the cliff and had to swim all the way to shore because the dog chased us all the way.
Okay, now we're gonna do the most popular video.
I was born with a condition called alopecia, which means my hair follicles just weren't working and I never grew any hair on my head. So I was basically bald for most of my life because there's different types of alopecia. There's one where your hair can grow back and fall out, and there's one where it doesn't grow back. And I had that type, so it was pretty hard, like having no hair for most of my childhood. And I had to wear wigs and stuff, and it just wasn't very good. Whenever I was at sleepovers, they'd be like, "Oh my god, we should do our hair." And I just couldn't get my hair done because I didn't have any. And there was a few times where there were bullies and people were mean to me. Like one time in school, a boy pulled my wig off in front of everyone and everyone stared. It wasn't good. And then there's like a few times where I was confident enough to go out with no hair without putting on my wig, and there'd be people staring, pointing, laughing, and it was sad. But the good things that came with having no hair were I never got head lice. Like I remember getting a note home saying, "There's head lice in your class, you should check your child's hair and stuff." And I never had to get checked, and I never had to get treated. I never had head lice because I just didn't have hair. And I'm also on a website called the Rapunzel Foundation where children can donate their hair to people that don't have it. And actually, when I turned 10, my hair started to grow again, and I was like, "This is so weird. Why is this happening?" And it grew and it grew and it kept growing. And then I got some hair extensions when it was long enough, and I had them for about a year. And then I decided I don't want them anymore, I want my own hair. And so I got them out, I got my hair trimmed, and it was just like a dream come true. I'd never gone out with my own head of hair, and it was just so great. And I was so happy, I was so confident.
Wow, that touched me. Now we're gonna do I Wish I Never Moved Away. Okay.
I was born and raised in Aurora, Colorado. I took my first steps there, said my first word, and even made my first friend in Colorado. Basically, everyone who had a place in my heart lives in the state of Colorado. One day, I was in my room on my cell phone, and I hear my grandma and my mom talking downstairs in my kitchen, and I hear my mom say, "I got a job promotion and we're moving down to Illinois." So I hear that, and it goes in one ear and out the other, because my mom is normally a jokester, so I didn't take it as seriously because we play around a lot. So 2 weeks pass, and my parents pull me and my younger brothers in their room, and they say with a jovial tone, "We're moving to Chicago." I smiled and congratulated my mom for her job promotion, but happy was an emotion that I was not feeling. My parents made the plan to move out to Illinois first and set up the new house. So in the meantime, I was told to pack my room. But
that house looks
I was
animated
so
as
determined
heck.
and so stubborn. I did not touch a single piece of furniture in my room. My grandmother and my dad actually packed my entire room. So my parents leave and they drive out to Illinois, and I don't see them for 2 months. November was a set month for me and my brothers to fly out there to Illinois. November comes by really fast, and I say goodbye to my entire family and my friends. A lot of tears were shed that day, and I mean a lot. I was happy to see my parents after that whole time, but as more time passed and the more I lived there in Illinois, I got more sad by the day. I eventually fell into depression, and my temper got really bad. I was getting angry at the smallest things. My parents have noticed these things, and they got me a therapist. She was nice to talk to and all, and she said that I was grieving Colorado, and it was a result of me moving away from everyone I loved. Plus, I was grieving my dog's death because she had died before we moved, and she was very close to my heart as well. I've made friends here in Illinois, and my school and the people here are nice and welcoming, so meeting those people has helped me a lot big time. Like, I have been laughing and smiling. As for today, I'm still not genuinely happy because I'm very family oriented, and just me seeing all my family and my friends on social media hanging out together, it's just sad because me and my family were always a part of that, and just the thought of us not being there is just heartbreaking. But I am grateful because Illinois has brought me opportunities that Colorado couldn't. So as time marches forward, I guess we'll have to see what life brings me next.
Wow, that touched my heart. Wow.
Oh my god, and we totally jumped off the cliff and had to swim all the way to shore because
Okay,
the dog
now
chased
we're
us
gonna
all.
watch my salty teacher told kids lies about me. This is probably gonna be the last one for today.
One day when I was in 3rd grade, I decided to sign up to play the viola. Yeah, big mistake. I ended up hating playing that thing. It was uncomfortable, and I hated reading the notes. But at that time, my teacher was nice enough, except for when she would yell at me for not cutting my naturally long nails, which I get was annoying for her because in order to sound good, I needed to have short nails. But I really couldn't give a flying cockadoodle pickle about all this viola stuff. So I really wanted to quit, but my mom wouldn't let me for 2 years because she thought I'd be the next Beethoven or something. But in 5th grade, she finally let me. Fast forward to about 8th grade. In my tech class, I had to sit next to some girl who really didn't like me for some reason. Like, she made a poem about me saying, if a brick smacked Jess in the face, the world would be a better place. So some crazy little Shakespeare chick who either wants me dead or wants my face to be as flat as a pancake is sitting next to me. Great. So I was just minding my own business when this snobby McSnobster turns to me and goes, "Hey Jess, why don't you tell everyone why you quit viola?" Because it made me so stressed. I wanted to break it into itty-bitty pieces and then strangle myself with its strings until I was unconscious and blue. Why?
Yeah, right. You sure it's not because you didn't want to cut your nails? Then that's when my eyes widened. Where did you get that false information? Oh, I asked some girl about you and she told me that. Well, I hate to break it to you, honey, but your friend is a liar. Well, actually, the teacher told her class. How pathetic. And blah, 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 blah. I just kind of zoned this chick out at this point. I was stunned that some 30-something-old teacher would pollute some kid's mind with some stupid lie about another student. I needed to know exactly what this teacher said about me, so I asked some of my old fella viola buddies, and going by what they said, this is what happened. Some girl said, "Hey, why isn't Jess here? Did she quit or something?" And instead of saying something along the lines of, "Oh, well, that's her private business," this salty teacher told her whole class, "Oh, the reason Jess quit is because she couldn't cut her nails." So some kids went, "Ooh, exposed." Others laughed like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, quitter, yeah, 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 yeah." I was mortified that 10-year-old me and my long fingernails made a negative appearance with my name in her class. Like, lady, you are 30. Your school gossiping days are over. At first, I was offended, but then I realized I'm not the 30-year-old wazzbag in this situation gossiping about 10-year-olds. But now I just wish I could go back to my elementary school and suck up enough courage and confront her and say, "Hey, I don't appreciate your grown butt spreading a lie about my 10-year-old self and my fingernail length." And then watch the color drain out of her face.
Okay, so
A huge thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Not all learning experiences have to involve a gossipy teacher. Skillshare is an online learning platform that gives you access to thousands of classes.
I am
From
going
learning
to
how to
show you.
vlog to building your own website to tutorials on how to draw cute animals, Skillshare has it all. Our personal favorite is Rock Out with...
Okay, this is going to be a really sick person. I want to slit her throat, hang her. I'm kind of crazy. Okay,
S.C. Johnson.
because this just makes me mad. Okay, these story booth.
Me and my girlfriend were driving around. We were both very upset about something. I don't remember what it was. And we were both in the mood to do something bad and rebellious. We went to Walmart. A little bit of background information. I love fish. I'm majoring in marine biology soon. I had a 10-gallon tank, and I was like, a little light bulb just went off. And you know, the little voice in my head that was telling me not to say what I was about to say was just overpowered, and I said, "Let's steal a fish." My girlfriend, I call her Bianca, she looks at me, "What did you just say?" I said, "Let's steal a fish." She was like, "Okay."
Okay, don't try this
I
at
don't think she
home.
thought we were actually going to do it. We get to the fish aisle, and I just see this one single beta fish. He looked so miserable, like his fins were all tattered. He was like just floating on his side, but still like alive. And I was like, "Oh my God, Bianca, please." And she's like, "You know what? Okay, I guess we're stealing the fish." And I'm like, "Sweet. How are we going to go about this?" I was like, I got an idea. Go over to the other aisle and get a box of tampons. And she was like, "Why?" And I was like, "Just do it." And so she did. So she took all the tampons out and put them in her purse. And then we took the container that the beta was in. We put it in the box. I had never stolen anything in my life. That was the first time I'd ever stolen something. So I was a nervous wreck. I was like shaking, like, you know, just looking around. And Bianca's telling me to hurry up. And I'm like, okay. We pay for the box of tampons, but not the fish. And we started walking back out to her car. And suddenly she's like, "Where are my keys?" "What? You don't have your keys?" And she's like, "No, I don't." And I'm like, "Great, amazing, wonderful." And so we go back into Walmart, and I'm a nervous wreck because I am a felon. I am holding a fish in a box of tampons. And so we're looking for her keys for like 30 minutes, and we finally give up. We're going to go back out to her car to call her parents, and her keys are sitting in her car. And so we both look at each other, and we get in the car, and I take Gilbert, which is what I named my fish, by the way, Gilbert, because the Gil, out of the box, and I have never felt so proud of myself in my life. Like,
Okay,
I saved a
kids, don't
fish.
try this
I
at
felt
home.
so morally ambiguous, and that felt so good for some reason. It dawns on me, I did not ask my parents if I could have a fish, and I'm like, what do I do? So we try to get the story straight that a friend gave the fish to me, because at school my name is actually Fish Girl, because I talk about fish a lot.
Okay, guys.
I get home, I don't have the 10-gallon prepared. There's no water in it. I filled a 5-gallon cheese balls container with water and put him in there. So I had to cycle the whole tank for like 6 weeks, and then I put him in, and he's like living the life now. He's got plans, he's got hiding holes, he's got plenty of space. I feed him bloodworms every week. That's the story about how I shoplifted a fish successfully. To this day, I still haven't been caught. Don't follow my example, I'm sorry.
Okay, that will be it for today, everybody. I hope you like and subscribe. And I don't do any prizes, so hit the bell icon. Bye.